All right, the Warriors season right now is frustrating, I think, for a lot of fans. There's been so much drama. They're 29-29. They lost last night to the Clippers. I'm surprisingly encouraged. It's weird. I was not angry, but more depressed that they beat the Washington Wizards, and then surprisingly optimistic after they lose to the Clippers because they didn't have Wiggins. But they're 29-29. They're in ninth place. We don't know when Steph's coming back. We don't know if GP2's coming back for an opportunity to play in the playoffs. There's a lot of uncertainty. So I guess with all that being said, on the backdrop of the punch and the Wiseman trade and all the things that have happened this year, I have a truth serum question when it comes to the Warriors. If you could ask anyone in the Warriors organization a question, but you know that they have to answer it honestly, no lying, no podium BS, who would you ask and what would you ask them? So we're going to rat-a-tat some of these calls. Let's go to Ellie in San Jose. Ellie, step right up. Who are you asking? What are you asking them if you had truth serum?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So I'm an 8th grade teacher getting ready for work, and my question would be for the Big Four salary receivers. They are at the point where their return of investment is kind of diminishing due to age and such.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how much are they willing to maybe give up in regard to their salary to bring in another championship team? Because quite honestly, the Warriors are tapped out with money, and that's the big problem. It's
a great point. And like that's something I've been kind of talking about for a long time is the money. It's been like 3 straight years I've been talking about the money. I think in general, the media does a poor job understanding finances because so few people in the media have business backgrounds or financial backgrounds. So I think that how to talk about the business of sports is underserved to the audience. I love it. I find it very fascinating. Without the money, you can't pay for the players. Okay? When they built this stadium, obviously there's the mortgage of paying that back off, right? That's part of it. That's part of why the Giants had certain restrictions when it comes to their salaries because they were paying off that stadium. When the luxury tax in a hard cap sport is as severe as the NBA one is, every single dollar matters. There is an argument that the James Wiseman decision is majorly based on finance and not even the Wiseman fit. Because they're saving, because they saved the $3 million, actually they save significantly more because of the 6th and 7th brackets that they escape out of in the tax repeater bracket that they're in.
Yeah, it was a huge point, and it's hard to watch, what was it, $9 million just sit on the bench, right? Now, who's the reason he was sitting on the bench, I guess goes to Steve Kerr, whatever you want to call it. Next year, do $12 million, and you're sitting around looking, thinking, I don't necessarily see how he's going to play next season. So we can't continue to just pay this guy if he's either injured or when he's not injured, Steve isn't playing him.
So to that point, we've already seen Andrew Wiggins take about $10 million less on his new deal that kicks in next year. He's already committed. I love this place, and I'm willing to take less. How many guys in their prime, after the season that he just had, are willing to take less?
Not a lot.
I can't think of anyone.
No.
Outside of Tom Brady, whose wife was a gazillionaire and was a very different situation than what Wiggins is going. Like, I don't think we've talked enough about how much Wiggins has taken a little off top.
No, I do think that he knows, I would say. My question would be, where else, and this isn't to take anything away from Wiggins at all, but where else, with great money comes great responsibility.
Okay.
And if he were to get paid more, assuming that would have been somewhere else because of the Warriors' money situation, more would have been asked of him that I think he just saw the ghosts of Minnesota's past.
We can all agree, not all money is equal.
Yes.
Money from this individual isn't the same as money from that individual, and the circumstances that you'd be inheriting would be different. So all things equal, sometimes you stay with an employer who maybe pays you less because your situation and your lifestyle, I call it QL, quality of life, is better.
It is, and it goes back to who Andrew Wiggins is as a ball player and who he seems to be
as a person.
He's just a chill guy. And taking it back to the job aspect, okay, you have managers, people managers, and you have individual contributors. Andrew Wiggins is a very, very good individual contributor. I do not think Andrew Wiggins wants to be a people manager. Draymond Green is a people manager.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is a people manager. Now, a lot of times in certain situations, not necessarily in the Bay Area, people managers get paid more because you have to manage people. Andrew Wiggins, I don't really want that. I'm cool being a hybrid, right? Because we do this whole who's the second best player on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Depends on the day. But we know
Yes.
Andrew Wiggins is top 3.
Yes.
We know that.
Well, and I would say when it became the most difficult part of the season, playoffs, he was their second best player.
he was, without a doubt.
I think he was.
You know, there
personally.
were some crazos out there trying to make Andrew Wiggins the Finals MVP, but we're not even going to deal with all
that's
that.
neither here nor there.
We're not
But I think the
deal with
point
all that.
stands, and I think it's a good one. Like we're talking about Clay. You know, Bonte and I have kind of kicked around like Clay extension next. Like he has to take a salary reduction to stay with this team.
He's making $43 million next year.
It's
$43 million cap hit.
He's earned it on some level because of what he's done before, and he did take a salary cut on the front end way back when. But let's be honest, like proportionate to what other guys are making in the league, it's a lot of money.
It is.
You know, it's not hampering them. It's not an anchor. But if he wants to stay, he is going to have to take less. So yeah, there are financial components in this, and I think she's right. Like these guys need to figure it out, and especially when Jordan Poole's extension kicks in, he's making significantly more. And once that kicks in and he's starting to make more, I'm going to ask more of him.
I hate to do this. I really do. But I'm looking at the 2022-2023 player salaries. And we actually got into this in terms of players, Bay Area players that are off limits in terms of talking negatively. But we're not talking negatively. These are just facts. Klay Thompson right now, for the 2023 salaries, Klay Thompson is number 10. He's number 10 behind Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry's number 1.
Can we agree? None of those players you just referenced are in their prime but Giannis.
That's probably fair.
All of
That's
them are
fair.
either just slowly starting to tick down or are less than what they were just a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Giannis
so-
is the only guy in that list that you're referencing who's in their prime. Because that's the way the NBA is. Like, you pay for what you used to do.
Right.
You don't pay, or on the very first contract, like De'Aaron Fox's, you pay for what you hope that guy will be.
Right.
The premature max, as I call it.
But I would make the argument, okay, what is that line when you say, you know, for what Klay has done and what the Warriors think he will do? As good as Klay has been, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Are we sure that he hasn't already matched up based on the money he's made and what he's given to this team? Is it still, well, because of what he did?
You mean the owing status?
I feel like we're pretty close to even.
Yeah, we are
here.
even, I think. And I would also say that he's been way better than I thought he was going to be this year. And
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to admit it. Like, I was very worried that we saw the best of Klay in terms of offense, offensive efficiency, and we would never see anything close to what we've seen before. Offensive efficiency, he's been outstanding. Defense is leaving a lot, but this goes back to positional versatility. To me, moving forward, he needs to be a stretch 4.
Yeah.
He's actually rebounding better lately, the last couple of weeks than we've had before. We'll talk finances, you know, all offseason and for the remainder of time.
This guy's got taxes and finances. You love it.
I do love it. TurboTax Joe. All right, let's go out to Austin and San Jose. The question is,